वहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकंठाय मृत्युंजयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So Kashi Vishwanatha Ashtakam, 3 verses we have seen. Today we see verse number 4. Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa-virājamānaṁ bhālekṣaṇānala-viśoṣita-pañca-bāṇam Nāgādhipāracita-bhāsura-karṇa-pūraṁ Vārāṇasī-pura-patiṁ bhaja Viśvanātham. So what does this mean? Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa-virājamānaṁ. On the kirita, like the crown of Bhagavan, what is it? It is the cool, calm moon. Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa. The moon is on the matted hair of Bhagavan, the crescent moon. bhālekṣaṇānala-viśoṣita-pañca-bāṇam. Pañca-bāṇam means Kāmadev, because he used 5 arrows to disturb the meditation of Bhagavan Shiva. Bhālekṣaṇa, with the eye on the forehead. What is it? The eye of fire, Anala. Viśoṣita, destroyed. Through the third eye, Bhagavan destroyed Kāmadev. Nāgādhipāracita-bhāsura-karṇa-pūraṁ. The king of serpents, that is Śeṣa, he has designed the earrings of Bhagavan Shiva. Nāgādhipāracita-bhāsura, and the ears of Bhagavan are filled with those earrings. Vārāṇasī-pura-patiṁ bhaja Viśvanātham. So Bhagavan's ears, they shine with that ear ornaments fashioned by Nāgādhipa, that is king of serpents, that is Śeṣa. And this is the literal meaning. So first one is the moon. The moon is adorning Bhagavan Shiva, his jata. Who is this moon? What is this moon? So one is, we know the story that we earlier also we have discussed, Ardhanarishwar Stotram also, that moon was very partial to his one wife, that is Rohini, and the other 26 wives, they are unhappy, and so Daksha Prajapati tells Chandra Devata that, don't be partial, pay equal attention to all, but twice he tells, he doesn't listen. So Daksha Prajapati gives him a curse that you will lose your luminosity. And Chandradev comes down to do tapasya. Some places it will be said that he came to Somnath and did tapasya there. Some places it is said he is in Vārāṇasī. And Bhagavan Shiva is pleased. And Bhagavan keeps him in the crescent form, also tells him that his uh, luminosity will increase and decrease 15 days. So we have the Shukla Paksha and the Krishna Paksha. And also he gives him the boon that whoever worships Bhagwan Shiva on Monday, Bhagwan will be very pleased with that person. So Somavar is the day of moon, and that is the day which Bhagwan also Bhagwan says that is his favorite day. So now so this is the legend, this is the story which has come. What is the Vedantic significance? All of us know that the mind is connected to the moon. When we say moon, it is the Chandra Devata. So each of our aspects of our personality is governed by presiding deity. So the senses, the mind, the intellect, memory, ego, all of them have a presiding deity by whose grace the particular aspect functions. So we say in Tattva Bodh again, Manaso Devata Chandramaha. Chandrama is the deity of the mind. And the moon, very important is the moon represents what? Śītāṁśu-śobhita. Very cool and calm. The rays of the moon are supposed to be cooling. Sun is very, very hot. Moon is very calm. And we connect moon with coolness, with the night, the coolness that comes in the night. And also that moon is connected with the whole vegetable kingdom also, the minerals, etc. They are nurtured, nourished by the moon. Bhagavan says, Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha in the 15th chapter of the Gita, that he has become the moon. The light of the sun also is his light. Yada Rityagatam Teja Jagat Bhasayate Khilam Yat Chandramase Yat Chagnav. What is the light in the sun? What is the light in the moon? In the fire? Tat Tejo Vidhi Mamakam. Know that to be my Teja. Bhagavan says that. And also he says, Somo Bhutva Gama Vishyacha Bhutane Dharayami Ahamojasa Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha Somo Bhutva Rasatmaka. He says, my vitality enters into the earth and I sustain the whole vegetable kingdom, having become the moon. Aushadhi is that. So, moon is connected to nectar, the nectarine rays of the moon, the coolness of the moon. And we need a mind which is cool, calm, quiet, to do anything in life, to achieve any success in life, for harmony in relationships, to feel loved, to feel secure, to progress spiritually. Mind must be calm. How people say, cool as a cucumber. Like that, we need cool as a moon. So the moon is supposed to be like that, cool, calm. So the mind which is cool, calm, quiet, and the test of that is what? In the most provocative situation, is the mind calm? If the mind can be calm even in the most difficult situation, then one has spiritual grounding. One has a certain inner strength. That becomes very difficult. That is a challenging part. In provocative situation, the mind reacts. Even regular situation, mind reacts. Provocative situation, so much more. But the mind which is calm, composed, can give objective response, that mind will consume a lot of energy. Such a mind is very important in contemplation. Calm and quiet mind doesn't mean emotionless mind, doesn't mean a mechanical mind, doesn't mean a thoughtless mind. Emotions are there, but they are not disturbing the thought process. They are aiding. In contemplation, Bhagavan's bhakti is there. Love is there for Bhagavan, and one is contemplating on the Swarup of Bhagavan. So the emotions and thoughts, they go in hand, in harmony. Not that the emotions are pulling us towards the world, towards people, towards enjoyment, towards some fanciful imagination. Then there is a split. Otherwise, mind and intellect go hand in hand. The calm mind and a sharp intellect, that's what we need. That's the instrument for realization of the truth. So, Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa-virājamānaṁ means that. And how will this come? That will come by abhyas and vairagya. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. The mind will come under control, it will become quiet through abhyas and vairagya. And Bhagavan Shiva is the embodiment of abhyas and vairagya. His long jata is symbolic of abhyas, practice. Tapasya is what he does, remaining absorbed in the self. And vairagya, having withdrawn from the world, no craving for the sensual pleasures. If it is there, one enjoys. If it is not there, one doesn't bother. There is no craving. One is not running behind it. So that mind, like how we don't run behind childhood toys nowadays. When one has grown up, then one doesn't run behind them. So that way, a person who is seen enough of the world has enough vairagya, saying, I have seen, there's nothing here. And one is contemplating, steadily one has withdrawn. So that mind represents, it is the mind which is the moon which is of the Chaturthi Tithi. Again, symbolic of what? The mind which is contemplating on the fourth state of consciousness, which is Turiya Avastha, waking, dream, deep sleep. In these three, the Jiva keeps traveling. These are called Tripuras, three cities in which the Jiva keeps wandering. The base of these three is the fourth one, which is consciousness, which is there even during these three, which is there beyond these three. But one doesn't know because identified with the BMI. So that mind which has learned to withdraw, contemplate steadily, my nature is Shiva, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. That is the mind which is the fourth Tithi. Chaturthi Tithi is moon. That is symbolic of the contemplative mind. And so Gurudev used to give this beautiful explanation. I will share it on the WhatsApp group. Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa-virājamānaṁ. And this cool and calm mind is also made possible because of the second line, bhālekṣaṇānala-viśoṣita-pañca-bāṇam. Because what will disturb the mind? Two things disturb the mind. One is the input from the senses. So the five senses. So the seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, these five senses of knowledge. From there, the inputs, when I see something, hear, taste, smell, touch, any of these, desire arises. And that desire, when it is fulfilled, gives rise to a memory. One impression is created. And it also gives rise to a future vasana, that in future the desire will arise. An impression is created which can create a desire for future. And if I don't get it, then the mind is disturbed anyway. So memory is the second source. One is sense input, second is memory. The source of memory also is this sense input, some experience one has had. Now that is registered as a memory. Now one is recollecting. So in quiet moments of contemplation, when the mind has withdrawn from the senses, from the sense objects, this memory will come. How nice. Today is Raksha Bandhan. Last year, what did my brother give me? This year, what is the brother going to give me? I hope something very nice I will get. Something the mind will think. Or the ulta also. Nothing he gives. Useless he is. The mind creates all kinds of disturbances based on memory. So senses and memory. So the second line says, with the fire, the third eye, Bhagavan has destroyed this Kamadev. Meaning what? First and foremost, Kamadev is the god of love, and through the senses he attacks. And one who has sense control is Bhagavan Shiva. Shiva reverse becomes Vashi. So when one does this tapasya, masters the senses, senses will not trouble. That Vashi, that person who is master of the senses. So sense management, very, very important. Spiritual life begins with sense management. If I want to overcome Kāma, if I don't have sense control, impossible to overcome Kāma. And without overcoming Kāma, to realize that I am Shiva, Shivoham, Shivoham, not possible. One can keep chanting, one can keep saying, but the anubhuti will not happen, experience will not happen. So sense control, very, very crucial. That's why in Shravan month one does so much of sadhana, avoid certain types of food, do certain types of spiritual sadhanas, is all to develop sense control. The Skanda Puran even says one should sleep on the ground, follow brahmacharya, avoid all this, tamasic food, do fasting if one can. All that is to develop sense control. Because the senses are otherwise turbulent, very wild. One sense also is enough to pull a person down. All our five senses, these are only knowledge, and five senses of action. Speech, grasping, movement, evacuation, reproduction. 10 senses pull the human being in all directions. And then one wants peace. How it will come? So, what is important to develop sense management is the first step to overcome Kāma. What I am seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, all these, are they inducing more sensual desires, more extrovertedness? Or am I able to just enjoy for the moment and leave it? There is no craving for it before and there is no hankering for it afterwards. No, Swamiji, that we are young people. Then you explore, enjoy life. Ensure that it is in dharmic way, in certain moderation, and slowly overcome that. Have the clarity that I should not get lost in this. Experience, enjoy, get out of it. And those who are already out of it, don't try to get into it. New ways of enjoyment. It is same thing, five elements, no? Going round in different ways. So if one has that clarity, then one is not attached to that enjoyment. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, doesn't matter. The whole purpose is not to get pleasure. Pleasure is not the goal of life. Knowledge is the goal of life. And to gain that knowledge of the self, one turns within. One has seen enough. Now that person turns. So, first step is sense control. Overcome the feeling of Kāma, and to develop that calm mind, which is contemplative mind, sense control very important. These two cannot go together. Complete sense indulgence and contemplation cannot go together because they are opposite. One is extrovert, one is completely turning the mind within. So if that mind has to contemplate steadily, this sense control very, very crucial. Second chapter of the Gita, Bhagavan gives the whole ladder of fall when a person doesn't have sense control. And the example of sense control he gives is not to suppress the senses, not to completely surrender to them, but to sublimate the senses. So the tortoise is the example. The tortoise engages when everything is safe. And when it feels that there is a danger, it immediately withdraws. So the seeker must know how to engage and how to withdraw, where to engage and where to withdraw. Some cheap talk, some gossip, some vulgar things, some violent things, going around, then one should know how to withdraw. Either literally withdraw and go from there, or withdraw the mind. So if one doesn't know those things, then the mind will get affected, polluted, and it will come out. In behavior, in contemplation, it will disturb. So sense control, very, very crucial, and one should identify and do. Which are the senses of mind which are turbulent, and how do I sublimate them? When there is a higher purpose and I emotionally feel for that higher purpose, then the senses will get sublimated. That's the simplest way to sublimate the senses, is connect to the higher, and you love that higher goal, then senses will get sublimated. So first step is that. How to overcome Kāma? Step by step we are going. Second, breathing. Bhagwan is a master of yoga. When Kāma arises, the breathing will be very shallow. Deep breathing is something that will help the mind to anchor itself and get out of the craving. When the mind is filled with Kāma, breathing will become shallow. The body also will feel as though there is certain craving and one wants it. It is a play of the mind which is happening through the breath and the body. But if I can't control the mind, I can make the breathing deeper. That will help the body also, that will help the mind also. So second step to overcome Kāma is breathing. Let the breathing become deeper. Third is visualization. Kāma arises when there is a lot of fanciful imagination and visualization. Bhagwan is sitting in Nididhyasana, absorbed. Even then this Kāma is coming to attack. There the story is a different context. Tarakasura has to be killed. But in our situation also it is like that, where one is trying to contemplate, but some memories will come. Don't feed them. Don't visualize. Many times we visualize fancifully. I'm eating this thing. I'm going to that place. I'm enjoying in this particular whatever spa. One imagines, visualizes. The more one visualizes sense enjoyment, the more the mind will create such desires and detailing of that. That's why Bhagwan's name and form becomes one of the best anchors. If I need to plan something, I need to visualize how this will be, etc., and then plan accordingly. That is work part, that is a different thing. Even enjoyment, if one wants to plan certain things in that particular stage of life when one is, okay, you plan. But if you see in general, the mind has a tendency to keep on visualizing. That one should stop. It will visualize about peoples, about enjoyment, about situations. It goes on and visualizing, imagining. Bring it back to the name and form of Bhagwan. That's the ideal thing to control Kāma. That requires this alert mind. This third eye is the eye of alertness, intuition. Be aware. Where is the mind? One eye is the gross perception, other eye is the subtle perception. This is the intuitive perception. So both through the subtle and the intuitive perception, one should be alert that this mind is now visualizing, this is not required. Bring it back to name and form of Bhagwan. So that is the third aspect. Then fourth aspect is, there are wrong notions in our mind about enjoyment. With Pratipaksha Bhavana, we have to remove those. Then the mind will stop running behind it. Some conditioning we have seen or heard or experienced in some ways, and we have conditioned ourselves to think that there is pleasure in it. The object is not saying there is pleasure in me. We have imagined and we are superimposing, and then we are experiencing. Smoking, drinking, non-veg, alcohol, all these, how much harm they will create and cause. But the conditioning is, oh, this is the notion of enjoyment is drink alcohol, drink wine. The older the wine, the greater it is. All imagined in the mind. The tongue is only 2.5 inches. But that tongue, we have conditioned now to think, if I drink this, there is pleasure in it. When one drinks, first one coughs, throws it out, one feels so bitter. Same way, other things also. We have imagined certain things because of conditioning. If you go really by science, then one will understand so many facts. The things that we see, does not even exist. Touch does not even exist. If one is so scientific in life, then go by science. Then science itself will say that sense perceptions are illusory. There is no proper color. Is our eye reflecting certain things, so we are experiencing color. There is no violet color, brinjal, if you think about it. There is no violet color actually. Some few colors getting mixed and the violet is projected. Our mind is creating that. It is not there. So the point is what? If I go by this clarity, that what is real and what is unreal, so much of pleasure is imagined by our mind. It is not even there. Even so-called good pleasure, I gave example of whatever non-veg, alcohol, all that, but even the so-called good pleasure, whether it is some nice cake you eat or anything that one sees, movie that one is seeing, is not actually happening there. Some entertainment one is. So notion of pleasure and pain is in our mind. We have created. And we have created the opposite also. In the pleasurable things we have thought about, made it painful, and the painful things we have made it pleasurable. So much people want to suffer and then find pleasure in that suffering, torture themselves and find pleasure in that torture. Is all mind. So if a seeker wants to get out of Kāma, then one has to have Pratipaksha Bhavana. Books like Bhaja Govindam, Vairagya Shatakam, all these when we read, then the mind will get the harmful side or the limitations of it. Dukkha and dosha one will see. The more I see dukkha and dosha of the pleasure I am attached to, simple thing, coffee that one drinks. With milk, what effect it has, without milk, what effect it has. Do some research, find out. And then you see the harmful effects of it, then one will come out of it. What quantity of caffeine is required, what is not required, all that when one understands, then one says, okay, reduce the engagement or drop it. So if Pratipaksha Bhavana is done, one understands and one feels for it, saying, I don't want to engage in it. It's not only intellectual information. I must feel that, yes, I want to live in a certain healthy way. My body is precious to do sadhana. So I will engage in this. I will withdraw from this. Pratipaksha Bhavana, when it is done, very important. And in this, one of the most important things for Kāma is to exhaust the physical energies of the body in a constructive way. I must do some physical exercises and hard work, do karma yoga, do shramadhan, and let the body's energy, vitality be channelized. For a spiritual seeker, especially if one thinks that only meditation and puja, japa, sadhana will work, no, one needs a field to actually exhaust the physical energies. The food that I eat creates vital energy. And when one is young, it will create more energy. There is so much more energy that will manifest as restlessness in the mind if that energy is not channelized well. So find a field of service, engage in that. All these are very important. Then the last one will come, which is this third eye, is to contemplate that my nature is pure consciousness. I am not the body. Body identification is the root of Kāma. All lust arises from there. I am the body. That false notion. I am a Jiva. As a Jiva also I don't have a gender. As Atma I don't have any gender anyway. The gender is only at the body level. How many bodies we have taken in the past, which gender we have been in, which human body, who knows. So many lives one has taken. In which janma, which gender. It all belongs to body. Jiva doesn't have any gender. and Atma doesn't have any gender. So if I contemplate on that, but that is the final and the most powerful one way to destroy this third eye when it opens, meaning the eye of knowledge when it opens. The fire of knowledge will burn this Kamadev. How it will burn? Because it burns body identification completely. I am not this at all. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am that infinite consciousness. I am not this made up of Saptadhatu, Panchakosha. I am infinite consciousness. That when one understands, this third eye has opened. Kamdev burnt. So first line, second line, they complement each other. If the mind is calm and quiet, it will contemplate, the third eye will open. Kamdev is burnt. When Kamdev is burnt, contemplation is successful. Then one has transcended the mind. That mind will always be one's friend. That mind of a jnani doesn't trouble at all. So these are beautiful indications of sadhana. Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa-virājamānaṁ bhālekṣaṇānala-viśoṣita-pañca-bāṇam Nāgādhipāracita-bhāsura-karṇa-pūraṁ. This Sheshanag has devised the ornaments. Sheshanag Bhagwan is also one of the earliest fashion designers, jewelry designer. He designed the luminous earrings of Bhagwan Shiva. So that earrings of Bhagwan Shiva are what? Snakes only. We saw earlier the symbolism. Snake is symbolic of energy, of eternity, of fearlessness. And Bhagwan is wearing those kundal. So the mind which has become quiet, the one which has destroyed the Kāma, attained immortality, for that person, the snakes are all ornaments. For the Jivan Mukta, that which is source of fear for everyone else becomes an ornament. Poison also becomes ornament. Snake also becomes ornament. The world will give that only. For a Jivan Mukta also, it is not that everybody only offers praises. Enough and more criticism the Jivan Muktas get. But it doesn't bother them only. Why? Because Jiva Bhav is gone. So that Lord, Vārāṇasī-pura-patiṁ bhaja Viśvanātham, that Bhagwan may we worship. So this is the beautiful meaning and we will contemplate today. Sit erect, close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands be in your lap, palms facing the sky. Come to a comfortable posture without any strain in any part of the body. Invoke gratitude in your heart Thank Bhagwan for all the blessings as well as the challenges that you have in life. Thank Bhagwan for the moments of peace that you have had, the moments of happiness that you have experienced. Think about what made you peaceful or happy yesterday. And thank Bhagwan for that. Suggest to the mind that for the next 20 minutes I am steady and still without any movements. Except breathing, no other movement of the body. I am alert, awake, and quiet. I am alert, awake, and quiet. I am only a seeker, a devotee, and my goal is self-realization. Relax the body with some deep breathing. As I say inhale, take a slow, steady, and deep breath. As I say relax, exhale slowly and completely. Let go of any stress or strain and let the body relax. Exhale all the air. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. Continue to breathe at your own pace. Take every breath with alertness, awareness. In the space between the two eyebrows or in your heart, visualize a circle of white light. Invoke the auspicious form of your Sadguru. Feel that you are in front of your Sadguru or Bhagwan. With all surrender and devotion, chant Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Offer some flowers at the feet of the Sadguru. Perform a pradakshina. Prostrate in front of the Sadguru. Repose the form of the Sadguru back into your heart. Invoke the auspicious form of Bhagwan Shiva. We will visualize only the face today. Bhagwan has long, black, curly, matted hair. A streak of Mother Ganga flows from that. The jata is tied up with Rudraksha mala. There is a snake on the jata. There is a bilva patra. There is a crescent moon on the right side of the jata. Bhagavan has a big forehead. Bhasma and kumkum are applied on the forehead. There is a third eye in the center, in the forehead. The other two eyes are partially closed. There is a gentle smile on the face of Bhagavan. In the earrings, Bhagavan has snakes as the earrings. His neck is blue in color. There is a black and a green snake. Around the neck of Bhagavan. This is the auspicious form of Bhagavan. The lotus-like face. Śītāṁśu-śobhita-kirīṭa-virājamānaṁ. bhālekṣaṇānala-viśoṣita-pañca-bāṇam. Nāgādhipāracita-bhāsura-karṇa-pūraṁ. Vārāṇasī-pura-patiṁ bhaja Viśvanātham. Vārāṇasī-pura-patiṁ bhaja Viśvanātham. Keeping this auspicious form of Bhagavan in the mind, we remember Bhagavan through the mantra Om Kashi Vishwanathaya Namaha. 27 times. Om Kashi Vishwanathaya Namaha. Om Kashi Vishwanathaya Namaha. Om Kashi Vishwanathaya Namaha. Om Kashi Vishwanathaya Namaha. ॐ काशी विश्वनाथाय नमः। 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 ॐ काशी विश्वनाथाय नमः. Continue mentally. We contemplate on the fourth verse. Right now, my mind is like the moon, calm and composed, cool and quiet. With such a mind, I contemplate on my true nature. I am pure consciousness. I am Shiva. I am not the Jiva. I am not the body. I am Satchidananda in my true nature. I am unborn, unchanging, and imperishable. Moon represents nectar, nourishment. This knowledge is that which will nourish us, and it is the nectar of immortality. Real tapas is to be free from the ego. May I live the whole day today in remembrance of Bhagavan, dedicating my actions to the divine, free from the ego, anchored in the awareness that I am consciousness, I am the witness, uninvolved, unaffected observer. May I live in sense control, may I be a master of the senses and not a victim of the senses. Let the senses be divinized. My senses are only to serve Bhagavan, who is in my heart. I am anchored in bhakti. I love Bhagavan more than anything else. My third eye is open. I am anchored in the knowledge of the self. I am not the body. I am not the Jiva. I am Shiva. Paramananda is my Swarupa. The fire of this knowledge destroys Kamadev. Bhagavan has earrings of the snakes, symbolizing immortality and fearlessness. My nature is immortality. My nature is fearlessness. And my nature is stillness in spite of all movements. With Bhagavan's grace, may I come to realize this truth. Offer some flowers, shower them on Bhagavan's jata, perform a pradakshina of Bhagavan, prostrate in front of Bhagavan. Feel that the grace of Bhagavan pervades your being through his two eyes, looking at you lovingly. Identify one weakness that you have and feel that Bhagavan has opened his third eye and the fire emanating from it burns away that weakness in you. Bhagavan's third eye has burnt one weakness in you, reduced it to ashes. Out of compassion, and the third eye of Bhagavan is closed now. Again, feel the love and compassion of Bhagavan through his other two eyes. Prostrate in front of Bhagavan. Repose the form back into your heart. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Be aware of the happenings around you. We pray for everyone's well-being. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। Rub your palms, place them on the face, gently open the eyes. Okay. All right. Hari Om. Thank you.